some time ago, I saw in the news that most people are living in their numbers from the UK to Scotland and Wales because of the high cost of living. And it got me thinking, is it that bad or is it really better in those countries? If you don't know, the UK is divided into 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And we're going to be discussing the cost of living in these countries right now because we know that the cost of living in the UK, in fact, in the world generally, is something else. The inflation is hitting everybody hard, and we're just going to look at it in detail. So we're going into the video right now. Please stick around with us while we go straight to it. I've got beautiful people here with me, and they'll just introduce themselves right now, and then we'll get started.
Hello, tochiesther subscribers, followers, and viewers. My name is Gloria. I'm a nurse. I live in Scotland, the best part of the UK, the best. So yes, I'm happy to be here on your channel. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Scotland really the best. We're going to find out shortly. Okay, thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Tokbe. I'm speaking to you from Wales, the most beautiful part of the UK. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for coming, Tokbe.
So I am representing Northern Ireland. My name is Nanelle Griselda. And yeah, today I'm representing Northern Ireland.
Welcome, Nanelle. It's good to have you. And I'm Tochi, representing England for today's video. So without wasting much time, we'll just go straight to it. And we're starting with the most important one because everybody needs a roof over their heads. Accommodation, right? And we know that almost everybody spends the most money on accommodation, paying for your rent or mortgage or whatever. Gloria, how much do you spend on accommodation?
So I've actually been lucky to own a property currently, and I've also been lucky in a way that what we paid when we're renting is almost similar to what we pay right now. So I'm also living in a 3-bedroom house. I was renting as well for a few years, and we were in a 3-bedroom house. When we're renting, we're paying $660, and then it got increased to $700. And right now on mortgage, I'm actually also lucky that we just pay $703. So yeah, in that way, almost the same like what we're paying when we're renting. So £703. But within the range of 700, 750, depending on how close it is to the hospital. So maybe we even pay 800 to 850 for a 3-bedroom house with garden front and back. So between, let's say, 700 to 850.
So at the moment, we are paying 900 for our mortgage. So I'm sure that those who watched the video last year would wonder why, because I said the mortgage was 550. Yeah, so the bank is expecting us to pay 550, but we have increased it to 900 at present. That's how much we are paying. But in this area, for a 3-bedroom house, I think you would pay, let's say, 1,200 or 1,300. Of late, accommodation in Northern Ireland has become very, very expensive, Belfast. And I think the fact that lots of people are thinking that it's cheaper and lots of people are moving from England has become a factor. Now, when you see people queuing for a viewing, it's ridiculous. In my hospital recently, I was speaking with this Nigerian GP trainee. She's moved from Manchester to come to Northern Ireland as a GP trainee. And she said, compared to where she was living in Manchester, it was even much cheaper than Belfast, unfortunately. And she said when she went for the viewing, the list was so long. So she thought she would brag to the real estate agent to say that I'm a GP trainee, I can afford it. Even if you want me to pay 4 months in advance, I can afford it, blah, blah, blah. And then the lady was like, you see number 4, the person is also a GP trainee. You see number 7, the person is also a GP trainee. It's like now getting a place in Belfast, even it has become very, very tough. So accommodation is not so cheap here anymore. It's actually getting very expensive. But for a 3-bedroom house in this area, you're looking at around 1,200, 1,300. But for my family, we're paying 900 a month.
Presently, we pay 1,050 for a 4-bedroom house. So basically in my area, let's say every family would be looking up to like 3 or 4 bedroom house. So you look at between 650 to 1,000. That's what we pay here.
That makes sense. For me, we live in a 3-bed house, our own house, and we're paying £530 every month. But people around me that live in similar houses, like my neighbor, she's paying 1,100 for almost the same house, because we know that cost of houses increased recently. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, so you guys, looking at how much everybody pays and from all we have said, where do you think is cheaper to live? Because like I said earlier, I just saw in the news that people are actually leaving England in their numbers and moving to especially Scotland and Wales. And like Nadel said, now even Northern Ireland. So because they think that England is expensive to live in and those countries are cheaper, and that's why they are moving there. So is it that cheap from everything that we have said? Anyway, moving on, let's talk about home bills now, right? So Gloria, what's your home bill like?
In Scotland, we pay something called council tax. So council tax includes your waste, your water, your maintenance, people like whatever they do with the money. So you pay that to the council and it is every month. So it is per zone. It is zoned as per area. It's not like specific to, if you like, you use 1 liter of water or use just one bucket, you're going to pay the same amount. So in Scotland, we pay about £220 monthly for council tax, and that includes the water bill. When it comes to gas and electricity, it's together. In winter, just because of the rate that we are on, in winter it is kind of higher, because sometimes you can get a bill of 200, 220, and another month there was, I think a few months ago, we got a bill of like 350. And apparently it's just because it is winter, and during summer, hopefully it balances up. But yeah, let's just say between 200 to 350. I don't know what's going to happen like in proper winter, but so far the highest we've got was about 350, which was like a big blow. Because before, years back, we were paying like 70 something pound monthly for both gas and electricity. My broadband, currently I'm with Virgin Media, but I'm actually trying to switch over. Virgin Media, I'm paying £32 monthly, and that's unlimited for my broadband. And the bill for both my SIM card, which is going to be unlimited SMS and Wi-Fi data when I'm out, with my home broadband, everything is going to be £49 per month for the next 2 years, because it's a contract. So that's what I'm going to be paying for both my Wi-Fi and my data, £49 monthly.
All right, fair enough. Nadia, how about you?
So for those who will be renting in Northern Ireland, there's no council tax. Over here we call it rate bill, but it's purposely it's for the same thing really that Gloria said. In Northern Ireland, rate bill is only, or council tax is only for homeowners. So now we are paying £108 per month for the rate bill. And for electricity, approximately maybe about £70 a month. And for heating, just like Gloria said, it varies. In the winter, obviously it's going to go up because you warm the house quite often. But in the summer, basically, I think the last 3 months of summer, I think when the bill came, because I pay 3 monthly, I think it was like £70 for like the whole 3 months. But when you strike an average, I would say that with the winter inclusive, I would say maybe £70 for heating, for Wi-Fi at home, and then
phone bills.
Phone, my husband and I, Vodafone, unlimited data, unlimited text, unlimited calls is £38, I think, Vodafone. And then so when I use the Barclays app to check the spending, it's categorized TV, internet, and home all together as 77. So I'm sure it factored the Wi-Fi, the Netflix, the Amazon Prime, it factored all of that together, and that was £77.
And for me, we pay council tax here in Wales. So I pay £195 for council tax monthly. So for the electricity and gas bill, during summer period, it was lower, obviously between 200 and sometimes more than that. But now that we're entering the winter period, the latest bill I got was 350. Hopefully, it's going to keep increasing. That's for the bills. And for the phone, I use O2 on contract, both phone bills and the internet. It's around £70. And for water, we pay £60. That's like, it doesn't change, it's constant every month for Welsh water. And then I've got the Wi-Fi for the house. We use Sky, which is £40 per month. So basically that's it. Though that seems expensive, so I'm planning to change that.
I forgot to say that we don't pay for water in Northern Ireland. It's free.
So for me, for home bills, energy is about 120, gas and electricity. Phone is 37 for my husband and I, and water we pay 35 to 37 depending on usage. And for broadband we pay £28. For council tax we pay £172. It was just increased. It was increased recently, so now we pay £172. So that's about it. Okay. Let's go to feeding now, because after we've talked about living in your house and paying your home bills and everything, how much do you spend on food right now? The prices of everything is crazy in the market now. Let's talk about that. I really want to know. I'm curious. Doria, please tell us.
For feeding, it's actually very difficult personally for me to put a figure on it, because are we talking about African bulk buying, or are we talking about in between shopping? Or because for me, feeding, actually I don't put a price to it, which I should, but that's the only thing I don't put a price to, because I feel like, what will you do if you don't eat? You have to eat. It's the body that does the work. So I don't usually budget for food. Whatever I feel like buying, I just buy. And most time I buy in bulk, and it lasts me for months. I've got deep freezers where, for instance, when I was buying African food, let's say I went to Glasgow and I spent over £400 just on African food, but that will last me for months. Or when I order from Nigeria, sometimes is for months. So, but let's talk about just groceries, like say Aldi and all those in between grocery shoppings. I'll say about 200 to 300 a week. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a right figure, because sometimes you go in between. So just to round it up, let me just say maybe 800 a month for family of 5. Let's say. I may not be accurate. I'm not very 100% sure, but if it should be close to that, a month, everything. Yeah.
Okay. Nana, how about you?
So for a family of 3, I think approximately 500 for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and for me, basically we eat, but for a family of 4, 2 adults, obviously myself and my husband, and 2 kids. So, but we, the adults in the house, we love African food. And so we buy more of African food. In fact, I go as far as Birmingham market, because I heard things are cheaper there, to buy things in bulk, so it will last me for a while. So like if I go there now, I might go with like 250 to 300. And so I know I'll stock up for months. I just want to buy random things. Women, we go to the shops almost every other day. You just discover you have some things to buy, grocery and all that. I use Lidl and Tesco. Tesco is very close to me. And Lidl, if I want to buy more things like eggs and stuff like that. So let's just say for a family of 4, I'll put it at probably 400 to 450 is okay for me. Okay. I like to plan on food well.
For me, just like Gloria, mine is quite tricky. Because first of all, for the past year, I've had people in my house. We're a family of 5. I have 3 children, but I've had people, my mom, my in-laws. Currently, my father-in-law is here, my mother-in-law is here. So I've really had people living with me. So I would say family of 7, sometimes family of 6, and we now spend a lot on feeding, obviously. But we buy African food once. Like, I went to Manchester today to shop. We spent over £400. But the last time I went was in June. So I know that after this, we'll not go again for the next 3 to 4 months. But aside the African food, just like Gloria said, the normal groceries, we buy milk and other things. And I have babies, so I buy diapers and all of those things, which when I was calculating, obviously it's not different. It was just, I used my app and it was like grocery shopping. Everything is categorized under grocery shopping. So I didn't really get the accurate figure. But on the average, we spend about £500 a month. That's aside the African food and meat and fish and all that. The general groceries, that we buy Aldi, we spend about 500 a month. So let's move to transportation. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the guy that lives in London that was talking about how much he spends, monthly living in London and all that. You could imagine the pain. You could feel it from his heart. How much he said he was spending. I was even running on the negative, and you just be wondering, is this really how everybody is living in the UK? But I'm glad we're having this video and people, have an idea of what families and other people, migrants and, people like us spend living in the UK and how we're just managing ourselves, right? So, Gloria, how much do you spend on transportation a month?
Yeah, just because I own a car, I've not really ever had to spend on public transport as much since moving to the UK. Currently, my road tax is about, I pay monthly, is about, I think, £19 per month. And then my car insurance is £65 per month. My fuel, just basic fuel, say I just go to work because I live about 10 to 30 minutes drive away from my work. I live in the next town. Just going to work and coming back, just to work, church, come back without any road trip or big journeys in between. I'll fill my tank about twice. So I'll spend about £120 on fuel.
Us, we use one car. We're still using one car for us. So we still run a schedule. Whenever I am working, my husband is off. So the car is busy almost every day of the week because I'm doing about 3 days a week. He's doing about 3 days a week. So the car is being moved 6 days out of the week. And then the 7th day is probably going to be church or something. So the car is always being moved. So for fuel and car insurance, we pay £107 a month. And for fuel and everything else, when I use the app, once again, it's added parking tickets and all of that to the cost of the transport. Sometimes you go somewhere and you have to add all the parking tickets. Yeah. So fuel and parking ticket, the app said is £150 a month. But I would say that with car insurance and then fuel and all parking tickets and all of that, I would say £200 on transportation. However, we haven't finished paying for our car. So we use a Benz and we are paying around £350 a month for the car. So transport is costing us quite a lot. When I spoke about the house bill, I forgot to mention insurance as well for the house.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
So for home insurance and life insurance, we pay around £100 a month for that. So transport is quite expensive, yeah.
Okay.
And as for me as well, I drive a car as well, but my husband doesn't drive because his work is just 3 minutes away from the house. So he prefers to walk. So basically, let's say for fuel, I'll say around £100 per month, including probably going to church, dropping my younger daughter in school, and running around grocery shopping. And for tax, road tax is like £20, and insurance is like £57 per month.
And for me, I don't spend so much because I use an electric car and I charge at home. So aside the cost of installing the charger, I really don't spend so much money on my car, thankfully. But my husband does, and he spends around 180 to 100 pounds for fuel every month. For me, a month it could be 10 pounds to charge, because each charge cost me £1 or £2. So part of our electricity bill. So, and I already said how much we spend on that. And I don't pay tax as well. It's zero tax. My husband, I think he paid one-off. He paid it at the beginning of the year. So I don't know how much. I can't remember how much he paid. But for insurance, he pays 60. I pay 50 every month. I think that's about it. So in total, I would say for transportation, about £202. Right. So like Nanel mentioned, when I was talking about our home bills and everything, I forgot to include our insurance. The insurance will pay for appliances, life insurance, house, everything. That costs us around 78 to 80 pounds every month.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add mine as well. So ours is about £82 combined. Yeah, but for the fuel and car thing, that's just my own car bill. I didn't include my husband's. So I think electric car is now something that should be considered, I think.
It sounds economical.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have heard it. So Gloria, on the average, how much do you think you spend monthly?
Say on a month that we are good and we've budgeted nicely, I would say about 1/8 to the high of 2,000. When it's above 2,000, I think that's going too far. So I would say about 1/8 to 2,000.
Okay. Nadia, how about you?
I don't know, Gloria, how you calculated your own, because I was expecting more than that. Are you sure you added anything?
I just added all the thing that I wrote down here.
2,700.
2007. Just I went on the lowest numbers that I've written. Like if I say 200 to 350, I've gone with the 200.
Okay.
And for me, I wrote down 2,700.
Oh, wow.
That means mine is wrong.
For me, in as much as we didn't add some things, because we know that clothes and your outgoings, that direct debits we have every month is peculiar to different families and different circumstances. So we didn't really add all of that.
Okay.
But adding all that in my head now, because I know we didn't talk about it. For me, every month we spend about, on a very good month, 2,200 to 2,500 a month.
I think that's around average.
Yeah, on a good
for everybody.
No, just note that my bills, most of them are just mine. I didn't include my husband's. So,
yeah, I did.
Like his car, I did not include. Like, so there's some things that So that's my own.
Okay, so it's looking like we all spend about the same thing. And me that lives in England, it feels like I'm even spending less than Nanel and Tokwe that lives in Northern Ireland and Wales. So can you guys see that these countries are not...
What about Scotland? I know you can't compete with us. You not even dare mention it.
They're really cheaper. Right.
Apart from the weather, your weather is better than ours. That's the only thing.
Apart from the weather, yeah.
We are more better landscape. We are more welcoming. I don't want to say that we don't become overpopulated. But
Yeah, but it says people actually living here and moving to Scotland and Wales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salary wise as well. Although, just let's love it. Let's not talk too much.
Anyways, guys, so that is it. Now you have an idea of how much people living in these places spend every month. Now, this might not apply to everybody because, like I said, it's peculiar to different families and their family circumstances or different individuals. Obviously, single people pay less or spend less. So it just depends, but at least now you have an idea of what it looks like living in these countries. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you beautiful ladies for coming to share. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.